Hi guys, welcome back to this training. So in today's class I'm going to be showing you how to set up a Laravel project. Okay, so following this video you're going to be able to set up different kinds of Laravel projects following just the same steps. Okay, so after watching this video you should be able to set up a Laravel banking website, a Laravel crypto website, a Laravel Korea, whatever kind of website that was built with Laravel. You should be able to set it up following these simple steps. Okay, so it's actually very simple. It's just like installing a PHP project but a different method. Yes. Okay, so first I'm going to take you through the website that I'm going to be installing. Okay, so this is an investment website and you can see the front end is beautifully done. Colors match so perfectly well. Okay, so you can see it's all good. Okay, so I'm just going to show you the back end, the user back end also. Perfect. You can see this. So you have dashboard, your plan, investment history, add funds, fund history, transfer. Okay, you see, so you have different payment methods that the admin can actually approve or enable or disable from the admin dashboard. Okay, let me not bore you with all this. Let's go straight into the tutorial of installing a Laravel project. Yes, so I'm going to go to my cPanel. So I'm going to use my cPanel. I'm going to go, first of all, I'm going to go to my file manager. I'm going to go to my public_HTML. Okay, so now this is my public_HTML. Okay, so I'm just going to upload my file, my zipped file. Perfect. So I'm just going to wait for this to finish uploading. Like I will obviously ensure this turns to green. Even if it's 100%, let it turn to green 100% before you click on anything else. Okay, so let's wait for this to load. Okay, so while this is loading, let's go and create our database and our database user. Okay, so I'm just going to come here, go to database wizard. Perfect. So I can call this let's say ZenDN. Okay, I can call this Zen user. I'm just going to generate the password. So let me keep this on my notepad. Okay, so I'm just going to copy this password. Click on I've copied, use password. Perfect. So let me save this. Perfect. So now I'm going to click on all privileges. Yes. I need to save this first. Okay. Let me save this one. Perfect. I'm going to click on make changes. Nice. So let's see if it's done uploading. Okay, still uploading. Okay, perfect. So you can see it's completely uploaded now. So we're going to go back to the file manager and we're going to reload. Perfect. So I can close this. So I'm going to extract this now. I'm going to extract the files into the file manager so we can get the SQL file that we're going to upload into the PHP admin, right? Okay, so let's come here. I'm going to search for PHP. Perfect. So while this is extracting, perfect. So it's done extracting. So now up next, we're gonna go into the particular folder where it's in. Okay, so I'm going to select all and I'm going to move it out straight into my public_HTML. So you can see it right here, my public_HTML. Yes, so I'm going to click on move files. Perfect. I can see all my files are directly on my public_html. So I can delete this, and I can delete this also. Okay, so now these are the files that we have extracted from our zip file. Okay, so you can see the files that are all here. Now this is just the front-end files right here. Okay, so these are just front-end files. Now our main files, our Laravel files, are in this folder called accounts. Okay, our Laravel files are in this folder called accounts. So we're going to come in. I'm going to show you how to configure this to your own website. So all you have to do is look for env file, .env file. Now there are some times when you're going to upload your files into your cPanel, into your public_html, and you're not going to see .env, and you're going to wonder, where is it, or is my file is the file not complete? The file that was sent to me, is it not complete, or what's going on? Okay, now you don't need to panic. All you have to do is come to settings right here and click on show hidden files. Okay, you click on show hidden files. You can see in brackets they put .files. Okay, so these hidden files are files that actually have dots before the file name. Okay, so once a file has dots before it, it's most times the system or the cPanel or whatever sees it as an hidden file, so they just hide this away from you. But when you go to your settings and you activate show hidden files, it's going to pop up right here. Okay, so you can see your .env file right here. So I'm just going to come here, I'm going to click on edit. Perfect. Now you can see app name, app environment, app key, and all this. Now you don't need to bother yourself with so many of this. Now I'm going to just tell you what you need to change, what you need to actually focus on. Okay, now you can see app URL. Yeah, okay, most times it's always at the top, app URL. Okay, so now all I have to do is change this to my domain name. Okay, I just need to change this to my domain name. So let's go get that. Perfect. So now this is my nice. So I'm just going to come here and I'm going to copy this, and I'm going to come back to my env file and I'm going to replace it with this. Okay, so let me take out this part. So you see I have HTTPS and then your domain name, right? Okay, so then let's continue. Now you can come down, you're going to see database connection, database host, database port. Now importantly, your database, your username, and your password. Now remember, this is what we created and we saved in our notepad. So I'm just going to come back to my notepad and I'm going to copy the password. Okay, I'm going to copy the password. I'm going to replace it here. Now you have to be careful and ensure you've not touched the quotations that are surrounding the word. Okay, so you just easily replace it right there. Okay, so I'm going to replace the username. Okay, I'm going to replace the username also. Perfect. Then I'm going to replace the database name also. Okay, perfect. You see, that was done so smoothly, so clean. Ensure you do not touch any other parts of the code. Ensure you do not remove even the tiniest symbol. Removing even the tiniest symbol you may think is not necessary, a dot, a comma, apostrophe, or whatever. Once you remove it, you're going to spoil a whole lot of things. So ensure you just edit the parts that you are supposed to edit and do not touch any other part of the code. Okay, so we're going to scroll down now and you come here, you see mail. Now all these are mail informations that you need to set up so your site can actually send mails. Okay, so all these are mail informations that you need to set up. Now this tells you that the mailer is SMTP. Okay, you have SMTP, you have PHP mailer. Now this tells you that the mailer is SMTP, right? Then you have your mail host also. Now your mail host is usually your domain name. Simple as that. Your mail host is your domain name. It's as simple as your SMTP host. Yeah, your SMTP host is your domain name. It's as simple as that. Now, there are some hosting companies that have their own personalized SMTP host name. Okay, so for example, Hostinger does not use your domain name as the SMTP host. Instead, they can use either titan.email.smtp, or they can use smtp.hostinger.com. okay, so it depends on the package and how you're getting it. So once, if you're using Hostinger, the process is a little bit different. That's just the only part that is different. Okay, you are going to be using their own designated SMTP host, but for every other hosting that I've ever used, it's just your domain name that is the SMTP host. Okay, so all I'm going to do is come here and copy this right here, and I'm going to replace this. Okay, you see my domain name, simple. Now my mail port is my SMTP port, my mail port is 465. Now my mail username, that is which email am I sending mails from. Okay, which email am I sending mails from, and which password, what's the password of the email. Then the SMTP encryption is SSL. Okay, now if you're using port 465, the encryption is SSL. If you're using 587, the encryption is TLS, right? TLS. Okay, but usually I just use 465 and SSL always. Okay, then you have your mail from address. Which email do you want people to see that your mail is coming from? Okay, then you have your mail name. So I'm just going to quickly create an email that we're going to use for that purpose. Now, if you do not create an email and you just fill in details here, it's not going to work. Okay, it's not going to work. So you need to actually create an email in that cPanel. Okay, you need to create an email in that cPanel where you are working from. Okay, so let's create this. Let's call it mail, and let's put in the password. Okay, perfect. Nice. So we have this right here. So I'm just going to copy this. I'm going to go back to my env file. I'm going to replace my mail username. Okay, I'm also going to replace my mail from address also with the same. Perfect. Then I'm going to change this to this. Okay, so this is supposed to be like a company name. Perfect. So the password remains the same. I use the same password, so it will be easier. Okay, so and that is also, but if you are using a different password, also ensure you change your password. Now that's all I need to do on this page. I'm going to click on save changes. Right, I'm going to click on save changes, and it shows successful. So now up next, I'm going to go to my PHP admin, and we're going to upload our SQL file. Right, so now this is how you get the SQL file. When you come back to the main files, yeah, when you come back to your polygon.php, you're going to see a folder called SQL where you will find your database.sql file. Okay, so all you have to do is download this into your system so you can upload it. Right, so this is the database that we created. I'm just going to come here and I'm going to click on import. Perfect. Then I'm going to upload this. Okay, so my network is a little bit poor, so while that is uploading, I want to let you know something. Like I told you earlier, there are different PHP versions for different scripts. Okay, there are different PHP versions for different scripts. Now you can have a script, or you can have a website that uses 7.4 PHP version, and you can have a website that uses 8.0. You can have a website that uses 8.1. Okay, so basically you need to pick the PHP version that is compatible with the particular projects that you are working with, and this PHP version is usually set up when the person that is writing the code writes the code, so you don't need to bother yourself with that. Now you see, most times project scripts will come with, most project files will come with an installation guide like this one does. Okay, and then you can see from the installation guide what PHP version you are supposed to use. Okay, let's see if this tells us. Okay, this does not tell us now, but another way you can actually find out, especially for Laravel projects, is when you go to the files, you're going to look for composer.json. Okay, you're going to look for composer.json. You're going to edit. Now in this file, you are not touching anything. You have to ensure that you do not touch anything at all. You're just coming here and looking for PHP. You see PHP, and it tells you it needs from 7.3 to 8.1. So automatically we're going to put this at 7.4. Okay, so we're going to put this at 7.4. So let's see, multi PHP manager, and I'm going to, okay, it's already at 7.4. Perfect, it's already at 7.4. So there are some PHP scripts. There are some scripts that when you put a different PHP version and you go to the site, it's going to show you a blank page with a little write-up that says it requires the PHP version of so and so. So once you see that, just know you need to go and change your PHP version to whatever is required, and you are good to go. Okay, so now let's go back to our database and see if it's done uploading. Okay, still importing. Okay, perfect. So it is done installing. Import has been successfully finished. Okay, so you can see all my database details right here. Now let's go to the site. Let's see. Let's click on login. Perfect. Now you can see the login page is working. Now if we have not done that configuration and uploaded the SQL file, when we click on this login, it will have showed us a white page. Okay, so I just showed us a white blank page. So that tells you that either your PHP version is wrong, your SQL file has not been uploaded, or your configuration is wrong. Okay, so once you see a blank page like that, just know it has to be one of these three things, or your server is just not a good server. Okay, so now let's go into configuring. So I'm just going to take you a little into how to configure different things. I can see this site name is Swipe Valley, right? But you see, you're seeing Zenith Capital. Okay, on the main site you're seeing Zenith Capital, Zenith Capital, Zenith. So we need to actually configure it to the right name. So I'm going to just show you briefly how to do that. Okay, so I'm going to close all these pages that I do not need anymore. I'm going to come back to my file manager, my public_html. I'm going to come to the front end pages. Okay, you can see this is index.html, not Laravel. So this front end is not Laravel. This front end is just plain HTML files. Okay, so I'm just going to come to the index. I'm going to click on edit. Then I'm going to search for let's say Zenith Capital, right? Because that's what we're trying to change. And you can see it tells me that there are 4 instances of Zenith Capital. Okay, so when I click here, I'm going to see this, and this, right? So what am I going to do? I'm going to take this and I'm going to put it right here, replacing Zenith Capital. And I can actually do this bit by bit, or I can come here and click on Control F to show me. That's Control F is to find, then Control H is to replace, right? So Control F to find, Control H to replace. And I'm going to put in what I just copied, the new site name, and I'm going to put it the way I want it to be, right? So you have to ensure that this one you're finding does not have any extra space, because if it has an extra space, the replacing is going to take up the space and everything. So you have to be very careful when you are doing this. Also ensure there is no extra space anywhere, right? Then I'm going to come here and I'm going to click on replace. I'm going to come here and click on save changes. And when I go back to the site and I refresh, you're going to see everywhere that had Zenith Capital has changed to Swipe Valley, right? Swipe Valley. So that is simply all that you need to do. So let's go back. Let's change. Okay, you see it has info@zenithcapital.com, right? So we're going to come here. We're going to go like this. So you see Zenith Capital together like an actual domain name. you're going to see that it appears just once at the top right here. So I'm going to come here and I'm going to replace it with my domain name, right? So this is it right here. I'm going to click on replace, and that is all. Click on save changes. When I come back here and I refresh, it has changed. Now ensure that this email you are using is an email that you have created already. So when somebody comes to the site and they see this particular email and decide to actually send a message to that email, the email already exists, so the message will go through. Okay, so if you're going to use an email, ensure you have created it already. Okay, so that is basically how you get to edit everything that you need to edit on this site. Okay, so in a different class, I'm going to show you how you can edit a logo of a website. Okay, I'm going to show you how you can edit a logo of a website. So thank you so much guys for watching. And so this is the end of the class today. So until next time, thank you.